My name is Rahnama. I'm a professor at the Human Dynamics Group at MIT Media Lab. My interest has always been in the intersection of AI and disciplines like design and humanities. And my key focus area at the lab is on a concept called perspective-aware computing, essentially a type of AI that allows us to see the world through other people's lenses. So instead of relying on large language models, we can basically have our own personal models, train it ourselves, and lend it as expertise and know-how to others, contributing to the formation of a decentralized collective intelligence. If you look at the literature of AI in the past 50 or 60 years, they were very much based on learning. We looked at a lot of data, we looked at patterns of data, and then we had these winters and summers in the evolution of AI and the techniques that we used. If you go back to about 20, 30 years ago, we had rule-based systems, we had expert systems as we called them, and they were very much based on rules. Think about Excel sheets, but at a different level. As we are thinking about symbolic systems and hybrid systems, so these systems can all come and work together rather than we relying on one, our interest is forming a new type of AI and really find an intersection between what we used to call semantic computing, symbolic AI, and sub-symbolic AI, which are techniques like neural networks, and really bring them all together to work in tandem. And the context will basically decide what components of this AI ecology we need to bring together to bring the best decision and action based on the context of the request from the user. So our unique technique is to really combine symbolic AI to really represent the world and represent our behaviors and our human traits. And then in a hybrid model, combine it with neural networks for learning process, formation of what we call AI graphs or graph-based AI, and then use that to populate data accordingly to really understand users and entities on a much more broader and contextual fashion. So it has been a unique but relatively a complex area of AI in the past few years. But what is different now is that with the advent of large language models, the great compute power that we have now using GPUs and TPUs and cloud computing, and the relative cheap storage of data and the ample of data that we have, if you think about that physics and as how we are bringing them together, we can now demonstrate the impact of these symbolic AI systems at scale. Our system believes in these AI ecologies, whether different types of techniques and models and decentralized data schemes, they all come together to essentially forming what we call an AI solar system or an AI ecology. Now, if you compare that with the large language models, they are great and we use them. We don't necessarily compare our technique versus large language models. We just create these full coherent hybrid systems so our models can actually benefit from large language models. So if you think about using an LLM, because there is a hypothesis out there that, well, if you have a lot of parameters and a lot of data training these models, and you have these amazing compute power, it's just a matter of time that LLMs will completely displace agents and symbolic agents. We don't necessarily look at it that way, because the challenge with LLMs is that you need verifiability, you need audit, you need provenance. Of course, you can benefit from an LLM, but will you be able to say, where is that data coming from that is giving me that answer? Can you actually verify that answer? You can try it and you can ask a similar question in different context windows and you may get very different answers. Now, large language models are amazing if we can use components of those in form of vectors and bring them to our tiny models, which are more symbolic, and really bring the best of the two techniques together to build verifiable and reason-ready models. So if you need to audit these models, if you want to verify these models, especially when it comes to personal data, then I think you will achieve the best of the two worlds when you're building these next generation AI systems.